Welcome to this video. Hey, welcome back to this channel, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the fifth saying of Jesus from the cross right before he died. But hey, if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Tim, and I'm a pastor here in New Jersey, and the whole vision behind my channel is to help grow your faith one video at a time. And if that's something that appeals to you, please subscribe to this channel so that you can get more videos. And with that said, let's get into it. So we're in the middle of our Lent video series with the 7 last sayings of Jesus from the cross. And what we've been doing through this series is we've been talking about each single statement of Jesus from the cross. And so we've been dissecting it, talking about it every single week, and we're going to do it up until Easter Sunday to kind of prepare our hearts and our minds for the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And so if this is your first video, I will link up last week's video up here so that you can be caught up with us. And with that said, we're going to be talking about the fifth saying of Jesus, which comes from the Gospel of John, chapter 19, verse 28, and it says this: I am thirsty. So there are 2 lessons that I want us to take away from this particular passage to help us and to aid us grow in faith. So the first lesson that we see is that it shows us Jesus's humanity and his struggle. You know, one scholar wrote this, and he says, before his death, he thirsted as we thirst, and then he died as we die. And the reason why I think this picture is so important for you and for me is because it reminds us that it's okay to struggle. It's okay to have hardship. And we see this as Jesus uttered his fifth saying, I am thirsty. You know, to be human means that we're going to have struggles. And we see in the life of Jesus that in the midst of his struggle, he cried out to God. And even in the Garden of Gethsemane, right, Jesus' struggle was on full display. He struggled with what was going to happen to him in a few hours. And so he went to God, right, in prayer, and he said, Father, if there is any other way, please take this cup of suffering away from me, yet not my will, but your will be done. And so we see here that in the midst of Jesus' struggle, he turned to God in worship and prayer. And oftentimes, that's what's going to happen to you and me as we struggle, right? Let's use our struggle and turn to God, who is steadfast and who is steady and who is sturdy, right? Only God is that firm foundation that we could stand firmly upon in the midst of our struggle. So may you be reminded today that in your seasons of struggle, that you will turn to God, who is that steadfast presence and rock in our lives. The second thing that we learn from this passage is that this is a fulfillment of a prophecy. Now, a lot of scholars think that Jesus was quoting a psalm, which comes from Psalm chapter 69, verse 21, and it says this: they put gall in my food and gave me vinegar for my thirst. And so when Jesus said, I am thirsty, he was actually given vinegar. And so a lot of scholars and commentators believe that this was a fulfillment of that prophecy in Psalm 69. And so if this is true, then it was a part of God's plan from the very beginning. He orchestrated, he worked behind the scenes to ensure that every single event in Jesus' life would lead up to this point of Jesus being thirsty on the cross, so that this prophecy in Psalm 69 would be fulfilled. So what does this mean for you and for me? Well, I believe that God has a purpose and a plan for every single one of you. And sometimes it might be hard for us to actually see it. Maybe we're confused, or maybe we're lost. And sometimes, even though we might not see it, God is always working. He's orchestrating. He's working behind the scenes so that his plan and his purpose for you and your life will come to fruition. Now, sometimes it will be discouraging because there is no fruit, right? There is no progress in your life. But may you be encouraged by this verse, and it comes from Philippians chapter 1, verse 6, and it says this: be confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on until completion, until the day of Jesus Christ. And I believe that this verse is so true for you and for me. God began a good work in you, amen? He has a plan and a purpose for your life. And even though you may not see it right now, he will carry it on until completion, until the day of Jesus Christ. So even though you might not see it, trust in God's plan for your life. He is working. He is orchestrating. He is working working behind the scenes so that one day His plan and His purpose for your life will be revealed to you at the right timing. So don't be discouraged, press on, be strong, and trust in God's plan, in God's timing, in God's purpose for your life. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again next week as we continue on through our Lent video series. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can get more videos. Thanks, take care, and God bless.